What do you think you'll be doing in 5 years? As long as you people will listen to me, I'm willing to do this. Hi y'all, Snarky J Cosplay here. So about 2 weeks ago we did hit 200k on this channel, yay. And usually for milestones like that, I like to do Q&As, which I think are a lot of fun. I don't know if you would call it a Q&A or like an AMA, but I took some questions from some of you beautiful people that follow me on Instagram, and I thought, let's get into answering some of these. Question you hate the most. There's one question that I absolutely cannot stand, and that is, when are you making an OnlyFans? Why don't you have OnlyFans? Do you have OnlyFans? I don't want to be asked about OnlyFans. It's my choice to not do it. I'm sure if I did it, I would get roasted by a bunch of people anyway, because nobody likes when women do OnlyFans. I don't judge anybody who does it, but it's not my thing. I'm never going to do that kind of content. So to me, it feels really f***ing annoying that regardless of what I do or how I do it, that is consistently something I get asked. It drives me nuts. Favorite car? Ooh, I love it. Somebody who remembers I'm kind of a gearhead. I feel like my favorite depends on what mood I'm in when you ask me. Typically though, I would say a 1989 Lamborghini Countach in white, but I do have a really special place in my heart for a 1977 Trans Am a la Smokey and the Bandit. That really gets me. What's your nationality? I am Cuban on my dad's side and Puerto Rican on my mom's side, and I pretty much grew up speaking Cuban Spanish at home, so that's very much the culture I feel more connected to. What got you interested in cosplay? Every time I say something like what I'm about to say, people in the comments always want to argue with me because they have some perceived notion of who I am now as an individual. I never had an easy time in school. I was never pretty or popular or relevant at all, and so for me, my escape from my boring life of really not having that many friends and just sitting at home coloring was diving into these fantasy worlds. I've always really liked dressing up. I was always in a costume at home when I was a kid. So for me, all of those things sort of combined, like my lack of social skills and a social life, led to me becoming obsessed with gaming and superheroes and Star Wars and that kind of thing. And so naturally, it was just kind of a thing for me to want to dress up as those characters because I identified with them. And since I love working with my hands, combining it all and getting really into cosplay, it just worked perfectly. Are you ordering another batch of calendars to be made, or that's it for the 2025 series? I currently have a small batch of calendars in stock, and I have more coming in, so if you're looking to get a Snarky J Cosplay 2025 calendar, send me an email and we'll get it figured out. Where do you see cosplay taking you? To be completely honest, the cosplay thing is kind of almost like the side hustle slash hobby to YouTube. Cosplay-wise though, I do still really enjoy crafting stuff and taking photos of costumes. So particularly, I would love for cosplay and YouTube to combine and to be able to travel to more conventions and meet more people and just attend them and see more of the world through that, but we'll see. Favorite song lately? I'm probably not the only person that does this, but I tend to like find a song and hyperfixate on it and just play the shit out of it. Also because I like to sing, so for me it's kind of a big thing to try and learn a song. I have been burning out lately. Lover You Should Have Come Over by Jeff Buckley. He had such an amazing voice, and that song really is a marathon to sing. I also don't think I'm that great a singer, but that's been my favorite lately. What's the next cosplay you're gonna be working on? Right now, my really big project is War from Darksiders. That one is coming really slow, to be honest, just because it's so much work, but there's some other stuff coming up, including a character that I don't think anybody that watches this channel is going to expect. But I plan on making this character what we needed and deserved as opposed to what we got. That's the only hint you're gonna get. How would you manage being in a relationship with someone while still doing YouTube? I don't know if that question was for advice or specifically what I do or would do. Doing what I do, it takes finding somebody very specific because this takes up a lot of my time. It takes up a lot of my mental energy. It also isn't really your typical job. I have been in relationships with people where they really just couldn't take that my audience was mostly male, and it turned out to be a problem for that specific kind of person. So to be completely honest, managing this and a relationship can be very difficult with the wrong person. Take that for what you will. If you could be mentored by one superhero and get their powers, who would it be and why? I hate to say it because I feel like it's a really corny answer. Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman has a fantastic power set. She's absolutely gorgeous. I love her truth, honor, and justice thing. I love everything that she stands for. And personally, Wonder Woman is that character that to me is an aspirational thing. I wear her exclusively when I do hospital visits with kids, so to me, I would just love to be able to embody her. Do you like to watch or play sports? I am and have been the least athletic person I have ever met for the entirety of my life. I was built for comfort, not sport. However, I did for a period of time follow NASCAR for about 2 years. I kind of stay in touch with it sometimes, but not as much as I used to. What do you see in yourself now that you didn't have when you first started cosplay? I would say confidence within the cosplays, because I still really hate being photographed out of cosplay, but within cosplays, I find that I really can get lost in the character, and I never felt that before. And now I almost feel like that character kind of just comes from me, and it's a very natural thing now to be in cosplay in front of a camera and speaking to other people, kind of embodying a character. I think that confidence has really taken a few years to build. What do you think you'll be doing in 5 years? The dream would be to continue doing this, but I would love to actually be kind of like a pop culture correspondent for some kind of network. I really enjoy doing this. I love talking to people and talking to the camera, and I love the topics that I get to talk about. So if I got to do that on a bigger scale, that would be great. And I'd like to do that for as long as possible. As long as you people will listen to me, I'm willing to do this. What were other things you would have been doing if not cosplay? If I wasn't doing YouTube and cosplay, my degree's in advertising, so I'd probably be working at an ad agency. But my dream, actually, for a long time, I wanted to be an illustrator and I wanted to work for Marvel. I've been drawing my whole life, so I really wanted to work for Marvel or DC. That didn't work out. Have you ever thought about getting into voice acting? All the time. I would love to act. I think voice acting would be great. I don't know that I have the voice for voice acting, but if I got the chance, I'd really like to try either acting or voice acting. It would be really cool for me. Going to do an election reaction video, or has that been done to death already? I'm answering this one because a lot of the questions I got were politically motivated, and I realize I'm probably doing a Q&A at the worst possible time. I don't do politics on this channel or my Instagram or any of my social media. I believe that everyone is and should be free to make their own choices, and at the end of the day, I complain about Star Wars and I play dress up for a living. I'm f***ing irrelevant. It's not my place. It's not necessary. Everybody can get their political information from literally anywhere else. I would much rather be the thing that entertains and distracts you from the state of the world. You come to me for entertainment, not politics. Top 3 cosplays you identify with. That is a tough one. I would say Wonder Woman because I feel like Wonder Woman is the best parts of me. Catwoman, because she's kind of problematic, but I think she also means well in a lot of senses, and I think personality-wise, we're not all that different. And probably Eric Draven from The Crow, for obvious reasons. That's my whole spirit. Oh boy, what's worse, Joker 2 or The Crow 2024? I would say Joker 2 had some almost redeeming moments. The Crow 2024 had absolutely none, and The Crow 2024 was so f***ing bad and personally offensive to me that I actually almost cried out of anger watching it, and I've never had that happen to me with a movie before, so The Crow 2024 is 100% worse than Joker. It was the worst movie of the year for me. Do you have any tips on how to grow on YouTube? It's hard to give concrete tips on how to grow on YouTube because it's such an inconsistent sort of thing. I can give you a few tips though of my own. 1, be consistent. You want to stick to a consistent style, a consistent voice. You want to stick to a consistent form of content. You're free to experiment, but once you show people this is what I do and you start giving them other things, they might unsubscribe or stop paying attention to you because you're giving them shit that they didn't come here for. You have to consistently put out videos. I used to think 1 to 2 a week would work. I only started seeing real growth when I was putting out 3, 4, and sometimes even 5 videos a week. And I would also say, don't let equipment and gear be a barrier to entry. Yes, there are people that will spend money on gear before they even get started, but there's a lot of people that start off very small, just using an iPhone and a cheap mic. You can 100% get away with that. Sure, make it better over time, but don't let it stop you. Just go ahead and make that first video. What is your funniest Comic-Con experience? 100% it was meeting Troy Baker. I'll give you the short version. If you want to watch the long version, it's in my Comic Confessions video. That one was a lot of fun. I recommend watching it. He voiced Batman in the Telltale games, so having him mess around with my Catwoman whip really just, it was hilarious and so exciting. And if I told 13-year-old me that that was gonna happen, she would have had a fucking heart attack. What has been your hardest cosplay to pull off so far? Optimus Prime. 100%. That was like 200 to 250 hours of work. It was super challenging, incredibly uncomfortable. It was worth it, but it was miserable. How tall are you? I am 5'3". I've been told consistently by folks that meet me at conventions that I am much shorter in person than they thought I would be, and that's probably because a lot of people I think watch me on their TV and expect me to be 6 feet tall. I would love to be at least 5'9". I was not granted that mercy. I am 5'3". If you could live in another country, what would it be? I visited Italy in 2015 and it is such a beautiful country. I love the people there. I fell in love with Rome and Venice and Florence, so personally, if I had to live anywhere else, it would so be Italy. Any plans to come to Australia? The Comic Cons are getting bigger here and cosplayers are awesome. I would love to go to Australia. I love traveling, so there are a few places that I can tell you I wouldn't want to go to, but as far as attending conventions and places, unfortunately, I don't make the kind of money where I can choose to pay for tickets, hotel, Ubers, and tickets to a convention to fly anywhere outside of sort of my immediate area. So for the most part, I only go to conventions that are close unless I am booked and flown out by an organizer. If you are a convention organizer or you want to write an email to somebody that you want to book me, please do. That's usually how you get me out to places, but I really don't see myself getting to do much of that unless I get booked. Why is cosplaying such an important thing for you? Is there any particular reason? Besides the fact that it is a really great creative outlet, I love working with my hands again, so the crafting element is great to me. It's also something that I really enjoy because I'm a very character-driven person. I love different characters, so for me, it's kind of like the obsession snowballs until I finally get to dress up and be them for a little bit. But I would say cosplaying has become really important to me because I see what it can do for other people. I love seeing how folks react to certain characters that they like when they get to see you embody them. And for the past 3 or 4 years now, I've been doing Wonder Woman exclusively, visiting children at charity events and hospitals and medical centers, and I see how much they love Wonder Woman. And yeah, I'm not actually Wonder Woman. I'm not an actress that's played Wonder Woman. I'm nobody, but for that few minutes that you're with them, you are that character, especially if you do what I do and I try to answer questions in character for them and make it an experience. You see how much you can have a small effect on other people. And I mean, it's meaningless, I guess, in the grand scheme of things, but for somebody in that moment, it does mean something. And I think to get to touch people in that way means something for me. And I realize that that sounds so corny, but it's 100% the truth. I just like getting to have a good effect on people. I got easily over 400 questions. I could not do 400 in a video. So those are some of the ones that I picked. I hope those of y'all that got your questions answered enjoyed them, and I hope everybody else enjoyed hearing a little bit more about me. Thank you guys so much again for 200K. We're already on the way to 300, and I'm so excited for where this channel goes next. And that's all from me. I've been Snarky J. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. For more Snarky J, be sure to check me out on Instagram, and if you'd like to support me, this channel, and my content creation, do check out and consider subscribing to my Patreon for exclusive photo shoot sets and cosplay content. This month's special sets are Huntress, Catwoman, and Batman. You won't want to miss those. I will add links to all of those in the description below, and let me know your thoughts on my 200K Q&A in the comments below.